Welcome to Angel Impact, the official podcast of the Wisconsin River Business Angels. Episode 31, Cultivating Wisconsin's Entrepreneurial Ecosystem, Part 1, with Tom Still of the Wisconsin Technology Council. Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron Marks, and I'm here with the latest Angel Impact podcast, and that's the official podcast of the Wisconsin River Business Angels. And the Wisconsin River Business Angels is Central Wisconsin's only angel investing group. So again, my name is Aaron Marks, and this is very exciting. This is the most people we've ever had on an Angel Impact podcast before. So a lot of voices that we get to hear from today, and it's a special episode because we have a really special guest with us. Let me go around and introduce everyone. So we have the leadership team of the Wisconsin River Business Angels. We have the president, Jeff Ebel. How's it going, Jeff?
Great, thanks.
Good. All right, and we have the chair, and I call him the due diligence mastermind of the Wisconsin River Business Angels. That's Leon Ostrowski. Hi, Leon. How are you doing?
Just fine, thank you.
Great. And then we have the executive director of the Wisconsin River Business Angels. He's been a past guest on the podcast before. We have Jay Whitman. How's it going, Jay?
Great, thanks, Aaron.
Great. And here's our really special guest today. We have Tom Still from the Wisconsin Technology Council. How's it going, Tom?
It's going great. Thank you, Aaron.
Well, thank you. We're really happy to have you with us. And we know your time. I mean, we know you're a really busy guy, and we really appreciate you taking a little time to out of your schedule to talk to us today. Because I heard you, like you just said, you came from, where did you just come from? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Just came from a tour of Exact Sciences, their laboratory and related facilities in Madison. And Exact Sciences is a company that deals in cancer detection, especially around colorectal cancer. But they're going into other branches. And we had about 40 people there on the tour who were largely folks who were state legislators and others from the Capitol. So it was about giving them some exposure.
Okay. So, and that's fascinating. And that's sort of an indication of the kind of circles that you work in, right? So can you, I also, let me just say quickly, we're fresh from the Wisconsin River Business Angels annual social and banquet, which was held last night in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, at the Sky Club. It's a supper club, and Tom was kind enough to be the keynote speaker and was present and gave a really fascinating and inspiring presentation about the state of angel investing in Wisconsin and entrepreneurship and the ecosystem. And so, can you tell us a little bit about what is the Wisconsin Technology Council do? What is its mission? Sure. Why was it founded? Anything you want to tell us?
We're about 20 years old right now, which is hard to believe for me sometimes. And our mission really comes down into three areas: policy. And so we work with policymakers whenever and wherever we can. And that's why this tour at Exact, it was about trying to expose different members of the legislature and staffers to what's going on there. So we do that at the state level. We do it some at the federal level. So that's one sleeve. Another sleeve is around networking and sort of hands-on instruction in some cases with entrepreneurs, young companies, others. But also we do our best to try to make sure that investors like those in central Wisconsin are connected to deal flow through our various events. And finally, there's just kind of writ large a communications mission, where we like to talk about not only within the state, but outside the state about what Wisconsin has and how it's growing. So we look a little bit like a trade association. We're a 501c3, we're a nonprofit, but at the same time, many of the things we do, because our members are corporations as large as Epic or Rockwell Automation down to little companies, we do look a lot like a trade association and carry out some of those functions.
Okay. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. And so, it sounds like you just have to stay in touch with a lot of people and keep track of a lot of information and, just kind of coordinate a lot of people working together in your role, right?
Yeah. I think perhaps most accurately, I could be described as a mile wide and about a quarter-inch thick, because we're a very ecumenical tech council in terms of the kinds of things that we work with. There are companies in IT, there are companies in advanced manufacturing, there are companies in the life sciences like Exact Sciences today. And so we try to do our best to to be touching all of them and be on top of different trends that they're working on. And then beyond that, we have to know a little bit about the investment world, obviously. And so that's all important. So it's, yeah, we do our best to kind of be in touch in different sleeves around the state.
Yeah. So one of the things that we learned from your presentation is that you're not originally from Wisconsin. So where are you from? Like, what's your background? How did you end up here? And then, how did you end up in the Wisconsin Technology Council of all places?
Right. Kind of a long journey. Yeah, I grew up in Alexandria, Virginia, which is basically DC. It's just right on the other side of the Potomac River. My dad was an airline mechanic, and because of that, I was an airline brat. That meant I could fly for free. And so the worst day of my life is actually when I turned 21. I can no longer fly for free.
Oh.
But it meant that I could go to college kind of wherever the best offer was. And that turned out to be a place called Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa, which got me into the Midwest. I had never really been here before that. Loved it, loved the entire experience there. Eventually wound up in Wisconsin. I was in the newspaper business for quite a while, and both kind of on the reporting and editing side, but also a little bit on the business side as well. And eventually, because of moderating different programs and things around economic development, I started drifting more in that into that world of what's happening around economic development in Wisconsin, and especially tech-based development. So the Tech Council reached out, hired me, and here I am today.
Okay. And when was that? How long have you been in this position?
I came shortly after its legal formation. So it's not quite 20 years, but almost. And it's been, it was a startup itself. We had a small office and almost broom closet. Okay. And we set out to get a really excellent board of directors, which we've done over time. Yeah. And to be as statewide as we possibly could, and built some expertise in our staff over time. And so it's been a great journey because it's changed so much along the way. The kinds of things we deal with now versus back in the day are certainly broader and deeper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I want to bring the others into the conversation a little bit. And so, I handle a lot of the marketing and communications for the Wisconsin River Business Angels. And so I talk to Jeff and Leon on a regular basis about what's going on with them and, how to shape their message and, get it out to the world. And the Wisconsin Tech Council is something they talk about at least every week, I would say. So, it's a major part of, how they operate, what they think about. It's clear that it facilitates a lot of, important operations for them. So, Jeff and Leon and Jay, if you want to give your perspective on this too, why is it helpful to have the Tech Council doing what it does, and how does it help you as angel investors in Wisconsin? Anyone who wants to take that?
Why don't you start out, Jeff?
Oh, sure. And actually, I'm probably the newest to this whole environment. And my first exposure to this whole ecosystem was at one of the Tech Council events down in Madison. Now, I've worked for many years as a score counselor. I worked with a lot of lifestyle businesses, small businesses, and I knew very little about equity funding of businesses. You watch Shark Tank, you see, you hear about venture capitalists that are taking over people's businesses. Well, those are the kinds of perceptions I had. As a matter of fact, we did one of the podcasts about, how wrong somebody can actually be. But it was really an eye-opening experience when I went down there. I couldn't believe how passionate not only the entrepreneurs were, but the investors as well. They are all there for the common good. Everybody wants everybody to succeed, and they're going to do whatever they can to make sure that happens. So I was, 180 degrees wrong on my impressions about this whole environment. And that again, I attribute that to the work that the Tech Council has done to put on these events and to basically be more transparent about this whole environment. And it's not what I think a lot of people might think it is.
Yeah. So Jeff, for you, it was, it was a sort of a venue for exposure to this world and to see how it really works, and then also a way to give it publicity to kind of shape your perception of it, right?
Right.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I have a different perspective when I run my classes, my entrepreneur classes, and at least let them know there is a possibility of scaling your business, or at least consider that as an opportunity. And again, it opens up a whole nother world for them, a world of possibilities, where they can leverage their genius idea and their intellectual property.
Yeah. How about you, Leon? What would you?
I would say getting the groups together, we probably find about 1 or 2 opportunities each year that come directly from the governor's business plan contest.
Mhm.
And we've invested in many of those companies, and we'll continue to do so because we got a lot of good businesses right here in Wisconsin. Our goal is to now get more of those new businesses started here in central Wisconsin. So that's the value of Tom coming here to sort of carry the message and help us develop that ecosystem so we can achieve that success here.
Yeah. So you're saying that the events of the Wisconsin Tech Council, they're important for the deal pipeline for an angel group like the WRBA, is what you're saying. Yeah. And so what other companies that you found through the governor's business plan?
Well, one of the recent category winners was Nurses Disrupted. We've invested in that, and there's been a number of other ones over the years. I don't recall if
we did Pyron. Pyron was a
Pyron
winner.
was out. Yeah, that was another one.
Okay, so Pyron came through the WTC.
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Yeah, Jay, is there anything you would add to that about what you observe?
Well, as I'm kind of new to this as well, what I found really interesting is how the Tech Council acts as a conduit between research and ideas and entrepreneurs and investment dollars, and it really provides the opportunities for the collaboration and the organization of all those resources together, so you can really grow an idea and perpetuate economic growth here in the state of Wisconsin. I think the other thing that I found very very interesting, I think it's helpful for some of our investors, is to understand how strong the investment world is in the state of Wisconsin last night. And Tom, maybe you can elaborate a little more. Some of the statistics that you shared in the growth and the investment dollars in the state of Wisconsin, how we stack up relative to some other neighboring states, et cetera. It's pretty impressive. So that's exciting to see. How our state is really starting to see some very positive growth about creating ideas, creating young business, and funding those businesses and keeping that ecosystem healthy and growing here in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah, very much so. Well, let me harken back to some of the things that were just said, and then I want to talk more about those investment statistics.
Thanks for listening to Angel Impact, the official podcast of the Wisconsin River Business Angels. To learn more about the Wisconsin River Business Angels, visit the website at www.midwestwealthventures.com or find us on Facebook.